If you're not familiar with keto, I recommend checking out the video I've linked below. It goes into more detail, but the basics are a ketogenic diet is high in fat, moderate in protein, and very low in carbohydrates. The goal is to shift your body into ketosis, where it burns fat for energy instead of glucose. That's why you often see a lot of meat, eggs, cheese, and low-carb vegetables in a traditional keto diet. So naturally, a lot of people assume a vegan version isn't realistic, but today, I'm showing you that it can be done. Is it easy? Definitely not. Is it worth it? That depends on you. Personally, I believe that keto and vegan diets are each restrictive on their own. When you combine them, and especially when you make it soy-free like I did here, you're looking at a very narrow window of food options. So yes, this is probably one of the most restrictive ways to eat. But that doesn't mean it's wrong or unhealthy. It just means you need to be very intentional. Would I follow this diet long-term? Probably not. But I created this plan for those of you who genuinely want to explore vegan keto, whether it's for ethical reasons, food sensitivities, or curiosity. So I designed a balanced plan that keeps fat high, net carbs low, and protein moderate, all without using soy. If nothing else, I hope it helps show what's possible when you get creative with whole foods. Breakfast, let's kick off with breakfast. I'm having half of an avocado and a vegan version of bulletproof coffee. It's simple, satisfying, and full of healthy fats to keep you energized. Avocados are a keto staple and one of the most nutrient-dense plant foods out there. They're high in heart-healthy monounsaturated fats, rich in potassium, more than bananas, and full of fiber. That fiber is key in keto, especially vegan keto, because it helps with digestion and reduces the net carb count. To prep, I use my favorite avocado hack. Press the flesh against the rim of a drinking glass. Then I slice and top it with everything but the bagel seasoning for crunch and flavor. Super quick, super good. As for the coffee, instead of using butter like traditional bulletproof recipes, I add a tablespoon of MCT oil and a pinch of cinnamon. MCTs, or medium-chain triglycerides, are a type of fat that's quickly absorbed and converted into ketones, making them a fantastic energy source. I've also got a whole video on MCT oil and how I use it in keto smoothies. Just blend everything up until it's creamy and frothy. It tastes indulgent, but it's made with simple, clean ingredients. Be cautious with portion sizes though. MCT oil is potent and can cause digestive upset if you're not used to it. Start with 1/2 tablespoon and build up as needed. Pro tip, I usually skip solid breakfast when I'm on keto. I prefer intermittent fasting, and most days I'll just have bulletproof coffee in the morning. Once I'm in ketosis, I naturally feel less hungry, so fasting becomes easier. But when I do eat breakfast, this combo keeps me full for hours. Lunch for lunch, I'm making a green smoothie bowl, which could also be enjoyed as a traditional smoothie if you're on the go. This bowl is creamy, thick, and packed with healthy fats, plant-based protein, and micronutrients. Here's what I put in it. Avocado adds richness, fiber, and fat spinach, surprisingly high in plant protein, plus iron, folate, and antioxidants, unsweetened almond milk, low in carbs and perfect for blending. Macadamia nut butter, a creamy, lower-carb nut butter with more fat than peanut or almond spirulina powder, nutrient-dense and protein-rich. Just 1 teaspoon has 2G protein unsweetened almond yogurt for texture and added protein. I use Keto brand, again, not sponsored, which gives me 5G protein, 16G fat, and only 2G net carbs per serving. It's important to always read labels with keto. Ingredients and macros vary a lot between brands. For sweetness, I add a drop or 2 of liquid stevia or monk fruit. If you're new to keto sweeteners, I've got an entire breakdown of them in a separate video. Some affect blood sugar more than others. Once blended, the smoothie should be thick enough to eat with a spoon. For toppings, I love adding pumpkin seeds, high in protein and magnesium chia seeds, full of fiber and omega-3s hemp hearts, a plant-based protein powerhouse. Chia seeds are technically high in carbs, but most of those are fiber. That brings me to the concept of net carbs. You take the total carbs, subtract the fiber, and the remainder is your net carb count. This is what most keto eaters track, since fiber isn't digested and doesn't impact blood sugar. Not everyone's carb tolerance is the same, though. Some people can stay in ketosis eating 30, 50 g net carbs, while others need to stay under 20 g. The only way to know for sure is to test your blood ketone levels regularly, which can be expensive and, yes, a little painful. If spirulina is new to you, go slow. It has a strong, seaweed-like flavor. Start with 1 teaspoon and gradually increase to 2 tablespoons if you can handle it. To meal prep, combine avocado, spinach, spirulina, and nut butter in a freezer-safe container. Freeze it. When ready, blend with fresh almond yogurt and milk. Dinner is a roasted tahini vegetable bowl. It's flavorful, hearty, and satisfying without meat or soy. Ingredients: broccoli and Brussels sprouts, pumpkin seeds, tahini, olive oil, and salt. After roasting, mix in Kalamata olives, top with sliced avocado, and sprinkle with sesame seeds. Meal prep tip: chop and mix raw vegetables and pumpkin seeds ahead of time. Store them in a container. When ready to cook, toss with tahini, oil, and salt, then roast. This meal works beautifully if you're avoiding soy. If you eat soy, tofu, tempeh, and seitan offer more protein-rich options. Keto isn't a high-protein diet. Too much protein can kick you out of ketosis due to gluconeogenesis. This plan keeps it moderate. Fat bombs are easy keto snacks. Warm macadamia nut butter mixed with coconut oil, pour into molds, freeze. Add flavorings like cocoa powder or vanilla extract if desired. Supplements on vegan keto. Consider vitamin B12, vitamin D3, omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, zinc, iron, and electrolytes. These help bridge nutrient gaps, especially on restrictive diets. Hydration is crucial on keto as carbs help retain water, and cutting them leads to more fluid and electrolyte loss. Here's what I recommend. Drink plenty of filtered water, add a pinch of pink Himalayan salt to your meals or water, include electrolyte-rich foods like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and avocado if needed. Use unsweetened electrolyte powders that are keto and vegan-friendly. A good rule of thumb: if you feel sluggish or foggy, try increasing your salt and water before reaching for snacks. It often makes a bigger difference than you think. Batch cooking and storage tips. Meal prepping for vegan keto isn't just about chopping veggies in advance. It's also about building systems that save time and energy throughout the week. Here are a few of my top tips. Batch roast your vegetables. Roast multiple trays of broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and zucchini all at once. Store them separately and combine later with tahini, avocado, or nuts to create new meals. Pre-blend smoothie bases. Freeze smoothie packs with spinach, avocado, nut butter, and spirulina. Then just blend with almond milk and yogurt. You can even pour the blended mix into jars and store for 2 to 3 days. Prep sauces and dressings. Make a batch of tahini sauce or vinaigrette at the beginning of the week. A simple tahini lemon garlic dressing elevates roasted veggies, bowls, or even raw salads. Portion your fat bombs. Mix coconut oil and nut butter, pour into molds, freeze, then store in a sealed container. These keep for weeks and are perfect for grab-and-go energy. Organize by macro goal. Label your containers with their macro breakdown, especially net carbs and fat. This helps you mix and match without recalculating everything. Dealing with social settings. Let's talk real life. Going out to eat, hanging with friends, or even attending family dinners on vegan keto is tough. Most people are confused by keto or vegan both together. Total head scratcher. Here's how I navigate it. Eat ahead of time. Don't rely on restaurants to meet your macros. Bring your own fat bombs or snacks so you're not tempted by bread baskets or desserts. Look for simple sides, salads with olive oil, steamed veggies, guacamole. Don't be afraid to customize. Ask for avocado instead of rice, or extra greens instead of potatoes. If you do eat something off plan, don't panic. One meal doesn't ruin your progress. Just reset and move on. And remember, if this way of eating is causing you stress, shame, or fear around food, it might not be the best fit for you. Nutrition should feel empowering, not restrictive to the point of anxiety. Long-term sustainability and reintroductions. Vegan keto is doable, but is it sustainable long-term? That's something you have to answer for yourself. For most people, this approach works best as a short-term reset, a way to reduce inflammation, balance blood sugar, or gain food awareness. But over time, many choose to reintroduce certain foods to add flexibility and nutritional variety. Here are some foods that many people add back in moderation. Berries, low glycemic, full of antioxidants. Tempeh or tofu, high protein and low carb, if soy works for you. Legumes in small portions, like black soybeans or lentils. Higher carb veggies, sweet potatoes, carrots, beets. Gluten-free grains, like quinoa or buckwheat, depending on tolerance. The key is to reintroduce one thing at a time, track how you feel, and adjust accordingly. I like to think of keto not as a forever diet, but as a tool, one of many. Use it when it helps you, and be willing to evolve when your needs change. Alternative vegan keto ingredients. To try one of the biggest challenges with vegan keto is variety. If you're eating the same 5 foods every day, burnout is inevitable. The trick is to build a mental pantry of go-to ingredients that are low in carbs, rich in fat, and versatile across meals. Here are some lesser known but super useful vegan keto ingredients worth trying. Coconut flour, high in fiber and low in net carbs, perfect for low-carb baking or thickening smoothies and sauces. Lupini beans, one of the only legumes that's low enough in carbs for keto, with very high protein and fiber. Not everyone tolerates them, so start slow. Hearts of palm, great for making noodles, rice alternatives, or even a vegan ceviche-style dish. Shirataki noodles, made from konjac root, they're ultra-low in carbs and mimic pasta textures with a bit of effort. Brazil nuts, higher in fat than almonds and a fantastic source of selenium. A couple of these go a long way. Seaweed snacks, low in carbs, provide iodine and give you that salty, crunchy fix. Zucchini and cauliflower, use them creatively, as noodles, rice, mash, or even baked into flatbreads. Rotate your base ingredients weekly to keep your meals exciting and explore new textures and flavors that still meet your macros. Building a vegan keto-friendly pantry, having the right staples on hand can make or break your success. Pantry: coconut oil, olive oil, and avocado oil. MCT oil. Nut butters, macadamia, almond, pecan, etc. Chia seeds, flax seeds, and hemp hearts. Pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds. Almond flour and coconut flour. Unsweetened shredded coconut. Cacao nibs and powder, for low-carb desserts. Nutritional yeast, adds flavor and B12. Apple cider vinegar. Shelf-stable plant milks, unsweetened, sugar-free sweeteners. Stevia, monk fruit, erythritol. Fridge/freezer. Leafy greens, spinach, arugula, kale, cauliflower, and broccoli. Zucchini and eggplant. Avocados, by a mix of ripe and unripe. Coconut yogurt or almond milk yogurt. Unsweetened. Vegan cheese, look for keto-friendly ones. Frozen berries, use sparingly. Frozen spinach or kale. Pre-made fat bombs. Fresh herbs and lemon/lime juice. Big flavor with no carbs. Organize your pantry in categories: fats, proteins, flavor boosters, binders, and snacks. This makes it easier to whip up something quick without overthinking. Macro tracking tips for vegan keto. Getting your macros right is probably the most technical part of doing keto successfully, especially on a vegan diet. Here's how to simplify. Use a macro calculator online to determine your target grams of fat, protein, and net carbs based on your goals. Focus on net carbs, total carbs minus fiber. Aim to stay between 20-30 g net carbs per day to stay in ketosis. Fat should be your primary source of energy, often 70 to 75% of total calories. Don't skimp here. Protein should stay moderate, about 15 to 20% of your intake. go too high, and you risk converting excess protein into glucose via gluconeogenesis, which may kick you out of ketosis. Use a tracking app like Chronometer or Carb Manager. These are great for vegan keto because they let you customize macros and check nutrient intake too. If you're feeling tired, bloated, or hungry all the time, something is likely off with your macros or your electrolytes. Dialing these in takes some trial and error, so give yourself grace as you fine-tune. Dessert ideas for vegan keto. Yes, you can have dessert on vegan keto. You just have to be smart about ingredients. Here are a few satisfying options. Chocolate avocado mousse. Blend avocado, cacao powder, vanilla, a splash of almond milk, and your sweetener of choice. Chill and enjoy. Coconut cream whip. Chill a can of full-fat coconut milk overnight. Scoop the cream, whip it, and add stevia or monk fruit. Serve with a few crushed nuts or cacao nibs. Keto chia pudding. Mix chia seeds with almond milk, vanilla extract, and sweetener. Let sit for 4+ hours. Top with hemp hearts or nut butter. Frozen fat bombs, as we talked about earlier. Feel like you're not depriving yourself. Just watch your portions, especially if you're trying to stay in a calorie deficit. Stable energy throughout the day, mental clarity, fat loss, especially around the midsection. Better blood sugar balance, improved digestion, or fewer blood sugar crashes. Red flags. Constant fatigue or brain fog could be electrolyte imbalance or undereating. Trouble sleeping. Irritability or mood swings. Digestive issues that don't improve. Muscle loss or persistent weakness. If you're noticing the red flags, it might mean your calories are too low, your protein is too low, or you're not getting enough electrolytes. Sometimes it helps to increase carbs slightly. See how your body responds. Keto isn't all or nothing. It's a tool, not a rule. If you're looking for a more natural, gentle, and effective way to support your weight loss journey, this might speak to you. I recently came across something that's been making a real difference for people. Focused on taking care of their body and health in a balanced way. It's easy to use, fits right into your daily routine, and could be that missing piece that finally helps you transform your relationship with weight and energy. I left the link in the pinned comment if you're curious.